Welcome back to the Chopping It Up podcast. I am your co-host, Chartel.
And I am Ferris. What's up?
Y'all, it's episode 5. Can you believe we have this is our 5th episode? Wait. It's crazy. Man, I can't believe it.
I know, it feels good.
Right. We have a bomb ass episode for y'all today. We have 2 very special guests with us. We are going to be talking about Black women entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So without further ado, I will let our first guest introduce herself to y'all.
Hello. My name is Tiara Jones. I am the founder of Get Healthy Tea podcast, where I spill the tea on my health journey. And I'm so excited to be here today with Chartel and Ferris.
Yes, we are happy to have you.
Hell
and then
yeah.
let's move over to our other Black woman entrepreneur guest. Take it away, sis.
I'm Amber Turner, and I own a cosmetic line called Turner Girl Cosmetics, and I'm just happy to be here.
Look, we happy to have you.
Okay.
Girl, also, though, you do jewelry?
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting on that eyeshadow palette. Girl, you do it all. You better say it.
If you want to buy it, I got it.
Yes, and we'll definitely plug their social media and how y'all can contact them later in the episode. So if you've been with us, we start off with Blase Blase. We are in Minneapolis, and y'all, I gotta tell you, I am sick of the gun violence. So that's what we're going to be talking about for this segment. It's terrible too, because now the babies are dying.
Yeah.
Man, just innocent children getting killed for no damn reason.
Right.
And
stray bullets. What y'all out here shooting people for? What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
Right. And then it's at the end of the day, it's why are we not as outraged for that? Unless it's a white officer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just a police officer in general killing us.
For sure.
You got to be outraged, especially when it's children. Because it's it was I think the little 6-year-old girl just passed away. And it's you took her whole future away. Right. She could have been a doctor, lawyer, maybe the next vice president. You know what I mean?
Contractor, electrician, anything, right? And now she can't. For a stray bullet, I think she was eating McDonald's in her mom's car. Her mom's car. You can't get more childlike than that.
Right.
She was literally just living. And then, she wasn't. To the scale of intenseness, right, in terms of community engagement and stuff, I think since we are in this pattern of police brutality, you wait for one, when it happens, then everyone flocks to it, right? But then everything gets kind of trampled over, right? We're all jumping towards white police officer murdering Black men, but then we miss the community violence, right, against our babies. And I think that is what's going on. We've got a headline in our head, and the problem with that is that we're missing everything in between. Exactly. So, Are y'all from Minneapolis? You're not from Minneapolis, Tiara. Amber, you are a girl.
Yeah.
What you feeling about your community?
It's a disgrace, honestly. I just feel coming from an education background, because I teach for 9 years, and I love children. And it's crazy that a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, they're fighting for their lives. One of them died, because you made a choice.
For sure. Right. You couldn't do anything else but shoot someone.
Remember back in the day, you used to just fight.
Right.
I had a problem.
I'm trying to tell you, we're going to fight you and then we're going to be done.
And then remember when women and children were off limits completely.
Right. Yeah. You that was just a line you didn't cross.
See, my thing is, what's even more crazy is this isn't Chicago. Yeah. Minnesota gives you an opportunity in the most, for the most part, to strive and be successful. Right. And you still got people out here, just trying to gangbang and do this dumb shit. And it's bro, you're killing innocent people, or your beef is leading to people dying. And it's y'all got to figure out how to squash that shit in a humane, non-senseless way, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to be the unpopular opinion.
Let's do it.
And say that the way that we're talking about the conversation is kind of anti-Black. So
tell us more.
Yeah. So just the comment about this not being Chicago, anti-Black. Because I'm from Detroit and I'm from a city that has a lot of crime. And so to put Minneapolis against major city that has crime. Yeah, that's
what they call it, girl.
Okay.
That's what they say, girl. Chirac. I'll be saying that. That's what everybody else saying.
How is it putting it as an anti-Black? So are you saying that Minnesota or Minneapolis, the simple fact that we shouldn't be killing people, right? And comparing it, saying that we're not Chicago.
Yes,
No,
that's anti-Black.
I didn't say that.
That's essentially what you said.
I mean, the statistics speak for itself.
I'm just saying that's anti-Black sentiment.
Tell us more. How is it anti-Black? Because we're pitting two predominantly Black cities against each other.
So my thing is just not to say to Black people, like, oh, don't be like those Black people over there. Mm-hmm. Those Black people in Chicago, they have reasons to be ratchet. Like, don't be like those ratchet Blacks over there. So that's kind of my issue with the conversation. Is like, yes, we should not be killing. Mm-hmm. We should not be shooting. We should not be able to get to the point where we can't solve our problems in a way that we have to kill somebody.
Right.
But my issue is Black people are not the only people who shoot people. Mm-hmm. Black people are not the only people who kill people. So my conversations about this topic, I just want to make sure that we're not demonizing Black people, because us as a whole don't always have this issue. There are a few ignorant Black people who choose to shoot people and kill people to solve their problems. So let's not just make it seem like we can't get it together. We can't. I don't shoot nobody.
Okay,
I don't kill nobody. So
answer me this then.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Right. So the standard of living from Southside Chicago compared to North Minneapolis, which is better?
I mean, what does that mean? What does that have to do with the comment that you made?
So the comment that I made is that Minneapolis shouldn't, the people in Minneapolis shouldn't try to, or just in general, like shouldn't try to solve any dispute or any issue with violence, right? That's in general. That's just United States. But I'm saying we brought it up with Minneapolis, right?
Yeah. So what does Chicago have to do with that? That was my only issue.
It sounded like you were like, we're not like Chicago.
Exactly.
So get it together, Black people. Or get it together,
like Chicago,
people.
Though.
Yeah. But then it sounds like Tiara is like, that's an anti-Black statement because
are you better
Chicago,
than them? Is that that's what it sounds like? You're saying you're better than Chicago.
Yeah, like we ain't like Chicago. Y'all get it together. Yeah. Like they trash over there, but we not over here. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, if that's how you take it.
Okay, but it's not how you meant it, is what I heard.
That is how you meant it. That's what you just said.
But it sounds like he said as like just a comparison,
yeah, it's a comparison.
Didn't mean the anti-Black.
But I got family out there.
That's what makes it anti-Black. The comparison is what makes it anti-Black, because you're just using a majority Black city and you're using a neighborhood in a majority Black city to say, let's not be like those Black people over there. That's anti-Black.
That's how you took it.
That's anti-Blackness. That's the definition of being anti-Black, is to compare something that has nothing to do with something else just to like make a reference. So you're saying, you could just say, we in North Minneapolis, we love ourselves. We love Black people. We don't have to shoot. We don't have to kill.
So it sounds
like those Black people in Chicago that do all of that. That's where it was unnecessary. That's where the statement became anti-Black. And that's what I was just trying to say.
So lots of feelings we have. Agree to disagree. All right, lots of statements. And it sounds like we definitely need more resources out there. Absolutely. But I definitely understand just the kind of lower noise surrounding this, right? Compared to how we show up as a community for when an officer kills a community member. With that, though, I do want to say there are community organizations centered around reducing violence against children. And I just want to name that. So when this show airs, it'll be past it. But today, what day is today? March 22nd at 5, there is a community kind of rally. It's community solidarity. Our babies deserve safety. So I do just want to point out that there are community organizations centered around reducing violence aimed at children. And I don't think they get enough of a platform. So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, it's alarming. I think it's just the access to guns, just the lack of, Amber, you mentioned you were a teacher. Are you still, or you were?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore.
You mentioned you were a teacher. I think about like social and emotional education, right? Like, so now we're grown people who don't know how to express themselves or take the time to do it, right? And I think, especially in this climate, no one wants to hear what anyone else has to say. So it's like, oh, I don't like what you says, pop, pop, and we done, right? Problem is, you got terrible aim, you missed your target, now a little girl in the back dead.
Right, for no reason.
Right, like, so I think, I mean, it's a systemic issue, of course, but in talking about Minneapolis, I am a transplant. So just coming in and seeing this, it's just, to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, a community that lacks so much resources, right? Like so many things. And then we have things like community violence and all of this showing up. And then it almost comes back to blame the community, right? Like y'all get it together. And it's like, well, if y'all would actually support us, give us money, like pump money into the community, give us things to do, we might not be engaged in these behaviors, right? Instead of, out in the wealthier suburbs and things where they have access to stuff, right? I was talking to a community engagement manager out kind of in the western suburbs, and he mentioned when the coronavirus happened, right? So Hopkins, Minnesota, that there's a large Somalian population out there, right?
There is.
And so I had no idea. And so when the coronavirus was it's still going on. They shut down the playground. Like they put up chains and like that was like where the kids went, right?
Of course.
But they didn't do that in Eden Prairie. They didn't do it in Minnetonka. Like those playgrounds stayed open. So this community engagement manager had to like name that, right? Like, cause then I think some of the kids were like breaking into cars or were just doing doing things. They were bored. And so the community engagement officer was like, or the manager was like, you took down their fucking playground. What else they gonna do?
Yeah.
Right. And if you took it down for like pandemic safety, why are the other more predominantly white areas still would have access to their playground?
Did he ever go into detail about that?
With me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm just curious, like why
He had that conversation with the police officers.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, so he had that conversation. It was like he was just telling me a story, but he had that conversation with the police officers. He was like, yeah, these kids are engaging in like problematic behaviors because they don't have anything to do. Why did you chain up their playground? Right. Why did you chain up their playground? Oh, safety in terms of the pandemic, right? Okay, but why is Eden Prairie's playground like open?
Right.
Why
Yeah,
is that as playground open? So that doesn't make sense. So then the officer had nothing to do or didn't have anything to say, right? So playground's open. So it's things like that I think people just don't pay attention. Or, I'll be honest, you ain't that dumb. You fucking know what you're doing. Why you closed down this Somalian playground, but the white one's still open? You ain't dumb. And now someone's challenging you on it, so you ain't got nothing to say, so now we got to open the playground. What the fuck you closing off in the first place?
Right.
So it's like, we're going to take away your resources and then blame you for when the community falls. Anyway, long-ass soapbox. Systemic racism is real. I disagree with Kamala and whoever we were talking about last week, Tim Cotton.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that. Ooh, what a heated blase. I'm telling you, we're going to have to have y'all back. I'm here for it. What else y'all want to say about it? Any other remarks before we dive into our interviews?
I think I'll just also say that Black people always care about Black violence.
Always, yeah.
So I also feel like the sentiment of like, we don't care unless it's a police officer shooting a Black person is false. There are a lot of organizations, like you mentioned, there are a lot of causes, there are a lot of events that we have around community violence. So I think just to keep the narrative going that us as Black people, we care about our communities and care about our people.
We do. Yeah.
Yep.
Black love, fist in the air. So let's get into our interview questions. How are y'all feeling?
Great.
Good. Feeling good. All right. So I think I will just start with having each of you, we can start with you, Tiara. How did you get into your podcast? How did you start your brand? Like, tell us how you got to where you are today. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I guess I'm that person who's always been entrepreneurial, but really did not want to be because I don't like responsibility.
I heard that first, child.
So it's like I'm an ideator. I'm somebody who sits and thinks and like has all these really great ideas, but like putting it into play is like, dang, I got to do all that. That's a whole different job. Yeah. I just want to think about it. Like somebody else do it. So
I'm telling you.
I paint, and I started kind of selling my paintings in high school.
Nice. What you painting, girl?
I know you over there like Bob Ross.
Oil paintings with the bushes.
Right.
You make a mistake.
I do abstract painting.
Nice.
I post some pieces on my IG because I really don't.
Goes to IG to check it out.
Look,
Right?
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know if I have anything. I think I have a little bit of something.
Okay.
But yeah, so I started off painting, and that was kind of like my first kind of delve into the entrepreneurial. So I would paint pieces for people. And then my godmother does eyebrows and eyelashes. She's an esthetician. So she taught me how to do that before I went off to college because she was like, I don't want you to have to get a real job.
Yes.
So I'm going to teach you how to have your own like side hustle.
Oh, I love that.
So I was the eyebrow and lash girl in college.
Nice. Okay, can we pause there? How was that, girl?
It was actually, I liked it.
Okay.
I really actually like to do brows and lashes because it still has an artistic element kind of underlying. So it's like you look at somebody and you're like, oh, it's going to look like this at the end.
Gotcha.
And then it looks like that. And they're usually happy. But I will say that working on the HBCU campus, people be playing with your time, child.
Ooh.
They will play with your time. They're like, I'm coming to get my eyebrows done at 4.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to the illustrious Fisk University in Nashville.
I see.
Yes,
All right,
I love my HBCU.
Yes.
But yeah, so from there, I did some career coaching. That was like my next side hustle. So I've always kind of had a little side hustle going on. My latest project is Get Healthy Tea Podcast. And it really came from me wanting to be more transparent. I pride myself on being a more transparent person because I feel like in the world of social media, there's so many people's highlight reels constantly playing. So I try to let people know, yes, I do have successful, moments in my life, but I also fail a lot.
Yeah.
And so trying to be more
People
transparent.
don't show those online,
So I try to be transparent. So the podcast really birthed out of like wanting to share my journey, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs. Like I was working out, I was losing weight.
Girl.
I've been eating, I'm tired.
Tell me how to do that, girl.
I haven't been doing that this month. I'm gonna get back in it into June, you know. But really,
Sound good to me.
wanting to share. So I've got to talk about my mental health journey. I've been in therapy since I was in 7th grade. So I've been in therapy like 15 years,
It's a long
which is
time.
very uncommon for Black people.
That's true.
Talking about that, talking about working out, talking about financial health. Like I paid off my car this year, and
There
I was
you go.
like,
Yes.
just really trying to level up in every area of life, and hoping that as I share my shortcomings, my feelings, my successes, the other people will be inspired to just take their first leap, their first step themselves.
Yeah.
Whether that's drinking more water, whether that's trying to exercise class, whether that's putting some Zumba on at the crib and getting your home workout on.
Yeah.
Just showing some people that caring about yourself, you are your most valuable asset. You are your most valuable asset. So we, in our community, sometimes act like health is a white thing.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
being healthy is white, or being
Going to
healthy
therapy is
expensive.
white.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's like they have monetized, they've kind of cornered the market on those things, and they seem white because culturally we haven't had access to those things. But as we're getting more access, we realize the value in eating healthier, the value in sleeping better, the value
Right.
in taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. So really just trying to help our community do more of that.
Yeah.
So that's
dope.
my goal.
I love it. And y'all, I haven't listened to her podcast. That shit fine. Like, it's hilarious. It's relatable. So like, yeah, like that's just
Thank you.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
gotta check it out.
No, it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
How about you, sis Amber?
Yes, Miss Makeup
I
Lady.
wasn't,
know, girl.
I wasn't a hustler. I didn't have it. Nope. So
You started out as a
I was-
teacher.
Yep.
Okay.
I was a 9-to-5 type of person,
Gotcha.
and if I didn't have it, I just didn't have it. And it bothered me though, because my parents, my sister, brother, they all have their own businesses, and I was like, why don't I have it? Like, I'm good at talking to people. I could leave a place with 30 friends,
Yeah.
and
Right.
don't know anybody.
There you go.
And it's easy for me, but I couldn't find what I love to do. Like, I love children. But that was more like my mom pushed me more into that. 'Cause
Okay.
She's been a teacher for 35 years. But
Gotcha. Shout out, Mom.
yeah, shout out to my mom. But so then it was just like, what do I want to do? And I was dating a guy that had his own fitness business, and I was like, this is great. Like, I loved his hustle so much that I was like, I need to find one.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, well, you're really good at makeup. And I was just like, am I though? Because I don't do other people's makeup. I just do
your own.
mine.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and then I just started researching more. And I think I was at a point, it was in the pandemic, and that was hard. For people like me that are outgoing and I love to be around people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It was really hard,
Right.
but it was also the best year of my life because I got to self-reflect a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So I was able to figure out what lane I wanted to go in, and so I stopped teaching completely.
Okay.
And I took that time to figure out what I wanted to do, and I started a cosmetic line, and
Nice.
I literally was so scared.
Really?
Like, I think starting anything,
Yes,
I
it's
think there's a
scary.
little bit of fear.
For sure.
But I had so much support that I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So I just started with lashes.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
that turned into, I was like, okay, well, they like the lashes. So then I started making my own lip gloss. So now I make my own lip gloss. And then they love that. So I was like, oh, they really want me to make money here. So,
Right. Yeah. You kept getting that like reinforcement, right?
yeah, like I would sell out.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I sold out 3 times in
That's
the
amazing.
first week.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they really supporting me because they're my friends or family, or is this good?
Right.
Yeah.
But it was actually good. So I kept going.
Nice.
So then I literally quit my job, and I do it full time now because
Yeah.
I make enough money to support myself.
Good for
and
you.
it's just been amazing. Now I have my own eyeshadow palette, 35 colors.
Girl,
I'm
is it
sure-
out yet? Because that's what I've been waiting for.
It is
sis.
out.
Yes.
It is out.
Perfect.
And it's a feeling. Now that I am an entrepreneur, it's a feeling that you get that I just can't explain. It's like when you see somebody rocking, like you had my lashes on.
Yes,
when you were
girl.
in what? You were out of town.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you had my
Girl.
lashes on.
And them
you tagged
earrings,
me.
child. Yes.
And now I do jewelry.
There
and
you go.
I sold out at I had a launch party,
Yes.
and I sold out completely of all my jewelry.
And let me tell you, I showed up at the I think I started 30 minutes after the launch party
Yes.
start. And I was like, okay, damn, girl was down to the skeleton.
Oh, it's already sold out, huh?
Yeah, it was
Everything's
already
gone.
sold out. So look, when Amber says she dropping something, I'm gonna be ready.
Yes.
And you're not gonna get me again.
Don't
And
play.
I love
Yes.
that because I met you, what, a month?
Like,
Chartel don't
2 months
play.
ago. I don't. Yeah.
Chartel's the most supportive person you will ever meet in your life.
And I'm the type of person, I don't want no new friends.
Yeah.
I have my friends that I grew up with. I'm not really into making any new friends. So I feel like it's hard.
Yeah.
But
we were at a Cowboy Jack. I said, we're going to be doing this because I like this. And we hit the ground running. We've been kicking it.
Yes. So now I have mascara, lipstick, lip
Come
gloss, eyeshadow.
Turner Girl Cosmetics. You got a forever customer. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
And those lashes is exactly like you said, like using the liner and plop them on. Yes, that's it.
Oh, and I have magnet eyeliner.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's waterproof.
When I tell y'all them lashes wasn't going nowhere on that boat.
So when you crying in the car this summer,
y'all know it ain't gonna train.
I ain't crying. It's hot girl summer.
You hear I said when you crying in the car this summer because I will not.
Abby said we not having it. Yes.
No, we're
Sis,
not.
I am here for it.
So yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. I love that you took a chance on yourself. I love that you had the support.
You got to.
Tiara, you were saying the
You
same
really do.
thing. Like your family and friends were supporting you too. Like, girl, if you don't do this, like you've been saying you were gonna do it forever. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
I'm really happy to
random
have
side
y'all
note though, did you guys ever have people in your ear like, I don't think you should do that.
here. Ooh, that's
I don't know if you're gonna make it, like self-projecting because they possibly couldn't do it.
That's a good question.
That happens now.
Still.
People that I felt were the closest people to me, I feel like the hate is real. And you would think that because I'm such a supportive person. So you would think that, but I have to stop thinking the love that I give other people, I expect it back.
Right.
And you got to stop thinking like that. Because that's not true.
Right.
Right.
So I think that you do get that hate and it's from the closest people to you.
That's a good question. I actually don't feel like I've received that. I feel like usually I'm the person who's like, I don't know, sis. And everybody was like, yes, you can do it, do it, yes, do it. And I'd be like, I still don't know. And they'd be like, no, do it. And so I think for me, usually I am my worst critic. I'm the person who's in my ear the most. I'm the person who's kind of doubting myself the most. And the people surround me are the people who kind of give me that push. So I haven't found that to be true in my circumstance, but I do know that it's different for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was a good question.
Yeah, I was always curious about that.
So, what obstacles did y'all have to face to get to where y'all are, if any? If any.
Like she said, it was really just me
Okay.
and the procrastination.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're your own boss,
Yeah.
it's harder. Because you'd be like, well, I could do this at 11.
Yes, right.
I could really do
And
it
not
at 3.
8, like I said.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then when I find myself being productive is when I get the most results back. Like I'm like, oh, I knew I should have did that earlier.
Yeah.
So I think it's me. I'm the person that is in the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that imposter syndrome of like, am I good enough? Why would people want to listen to me? Why would people take me seriously? Why would people support this? Like that imposter syndrome is definitely something that is like a major obstacle. And I think the other obstacle that I usually face is like I said, I'm an ideator. I'm somebody who just like, I literally have an idea dump note on my phone because like I just be like boom, 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 like ideas. And so sometimes I get bored and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do don't want to do this anymore. Next, like, okay, I want to do don't want to do that anymore. Next, okay, I want to do. So it's really hard for me sometimes to keep that momentum going and to keep myself kind of focused down one lane because I am kind of multi-talented and I have a lot of different interests. And something that my friend posted the other day was like, Black people are multi-dimensional and we come from communities where we had so many hats that we wore, and that kind of like in today's culture and society, it's like do one thing and do it well. But that's not how we've ever been. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so many of us grow up with like, I only can do one thing. Like I have to be a doctor or I have to be. But when I was little, I used to call myself a slash kid. I made that up.
Like a murderer?
No.
Like we slashing folks out here? Okay.
No, you said you wasn't no killer.
That's what it is then. Look,
Somebody be listening to me.
I thought she told on herself. I said, hold on now.
Nah, that's not. I wanted to do everything. So as a kid, I was like, I want to be a doctor / a singer / a this / an actress / I've always wanted to do everything. And so I think I am finally coming out of that place of like, Tiara, you just have to choose one thing. I'm like, nah, I'm dope. I can do a lot. I just have to work on my planning. So organization is definitely another obstacle because I'm like, I want to do all these things. Yep. And so I have to work on like my planning and figuring out what project makes the most sense to release at what time. So that is tough as well.
Okay, nice. I love it. All right, I got a big question. Do you have people questioning the like legitimacy of your business because you're a woman?
I think that probably would have been something that we could have talked about years ago, but I think women are really running shit right now. And Black women are really running shit right now.
Yeah.
So people don't really question where I'm coming or if it, and you have to have faith in your product.
Yeah, right. That's true.
And I know I'm giving you the best product, so nobody can tell me otherwise. That's just how I feel.
Because you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it was funny when I read that question. I was like, I never think of myself as just a woman. Like, intersectionality is so real over here. Like, I'm always a Black woman. Yeah. And so, like, as a woman, like, no, like, I was thinking about just, like, womanhood. I never just think about womanhood. I think about Black womanhood. And once again, I'll say, I think it's more me. I think I'm more the person who's like, do people think that I could? So, like, I used to do career coaching. So when I first kind of started off, one of my friends was writing resumes. And I'm like, how much does she charge? Okay, I'm going to charge what she charged. And then it's like, okay, I feel like I should raise my prices, but I don't, how do I justify? Like, how do I, And so being like, okay, raise your prices.
Raise
like,
those prices, girl.
That's what be hard. It's like, raise your, should I, like,
because people pay for good products.
That's
let me tell you something. Netflix been raising their price for the past 5 years.
Ultimately,
and what the hell I'm
Okay.
doing, you do. And what the hell am I doing? Still paying for fucking Netflix. So,
good point.
let me tell you. Yes.
Good point.
Raising
Yeah.
prices,
Yeah.
sis.
And I think even like market saturation. So it's really great to see you doing cosmetics. And there was like this meme that was going around about like if Rihanna was like concerned with all these other brands out here, she wouldn't have started Fenty. But she about to put Victoria's Secret out of business because she said I can include all bodies. Like I can include all shapes, all sizes. While y'all trying to be exclusive, I'm gonna be inclusive and I'm gonna change the market. And that's what she did. So there's always room for you in the market, and that's something that I'm starting to learn and realize is like your people are yours. You know, your audience is yours, and you don't have to worry about competing with somebody else and what they got going on because what's for you is yours. So that's something that I've been really trying to focus in on is knowing that my audience and my market is going to support. So it doesn't matter what somebody else is doing.
I think my pastor. Shout out to Faith Tabernacle.
Shout out. Yes.
But my pastor, when I was scared about starting my business, I was like, because there's a lot of cosmetic lines out here. Like, what's going to make me different? She said, when I go to Walmart and I walk down the toilet aisle, there is a lot of toilet tissue and different brands.
Yes.
So why can't you do it?
Capitalism.
So it was that's what it really was, where I was like, dang, like there's Fenty and there's all these other brands, but it's like people like what they like. So people choose to only shop, I only like Amber's lip gloss, then that's where I'm going to get my lip gloss. Because there's some people that they're like that. So I just think that that's really important is if you are scared about starting a business because other people are doing it, it's a lot of estheticians out here. It's a lot of podcasts out here. But we still got, it's a lot of money out here too.
Okay.
So we can all get some.
Okay.
I think.
So
I'm never gonna hate on the next person. If you wanna, I'm the type of person people have come to me like, can you teach me how to make lip gloss? Yes. Absolutely.
I love that. I think that's so important.
And now I do it.
Yes, because I think in our community, there's like that thought, right? Or that assumption that once we get good at something, we're not going to share with anyone else because we don't want anyone else to come in and get this too. Right. You don't get to know. Right. So can you help can you help me make lip gloss? I think a lot of people would assume you would have just said no, right? Like,
no,
this
now
is my corner.
I do classes for it now, and I start to wholesale.
Yes.
If you want to sell lip gloss and you don't want to make it, I will make it for you. You can pay me and you can put your name on it.
There you go.
I'm not going to hit on the next person to want to do what I'm doing.
I think that's so important.
I think it comes from my teaching background. Is there's a lot of little girls, oh my gosh, that come up to me and they're like, Miss Amber, like, can you teach me out? And now I go into their houses and I make it with them, and their parents pay me very well to do that.
There you go.
And it's great. I love to have that one. I still love to interact with children any way I can. You know what I mean? Because that's like my first love.
I love
that. I'm never going to hate on another woman that's like, hey, where do you get this product from? I'm not going to tell you everything. Right. But I can point you in. I'll point you in the right direction. Right.
We're not going to hold all the secrets to the chest.
No, I will teach you. I will give you the blueprint for sure.
I love that. I love that so much and I think that's why I'm so supportive, right? Because I'm like, fuck yeah. I'll shout your name out. I'll do all this because that's the least I can do, right? Like, fuck yeah. Like, I think that's the easiest thing. I have a friend who started a big business, right? And on Instagram, Reese Witherspoon was like, shout out small businesses, right?
Oh, wow.
Who got up on that Instagram and just start tagging businesses, right? And hers was one of the ones I tagged. Reese like reposted her, like on her story. And she was immensely grateful. She like messaged me. She was like, I don't even know what to say. And I literally
20 seconds
on stuff that I'm already fucking doing.
Right.
I'm already on Instagram.
That's free.
And it was nothing. It was free. I just tagged her. But just the legitimacy of it though. And she's another Black woman. And I was like, I will always like uplift and support, right? Like that is nothing. And I think what you said to Amber, there's a ton of money out here. Get it.
See, but I feel like there's few people who are in your corner who actually want to see you succeed. A lot of people just want to sit back, watch, and like, I bet they're gonna fail.
No, I
bet they're gonna fall.
think that. Yes.
And so that's what's up that you actually support. And I'm sure all of us here, like if there's something that you actually legitimately like and that you believe in, you're going to support that 100%.
Definitely. Yep. And
But I think one of the shortcomings or shortfalls I see for a lot of entrepreneurs is assuming that your network is your target market. Like,
that's
true. Not necessarily true. And I see so many posts about people being like, my family don't support me, my friends don't support me. They don't, exactly. Like, I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Right.
I don't want to buy that.
Right.
It's my money that I worked hard for, and I should be able to spend it wherever I want to. And so I think people have to just be more intentional about their market and about marketing to your market.
Yes.
It's not, and I think people don't understand that niche, like as niche as you can go, when you specialize, that's where there's more money. It seems counterproductive. Like, no, I want to catch as many customers as possible.
No, true.
But like you were saying, those people who have those favorites, who consistently spend those money, they're looking for those niche products. Yeah. So it's like versus just like, oh, I'm gonna just put out a podcast for everybody. I want everybody to listen. Like, no, my stuff is specifically geared towards Black women. Like my market is like millennial Black women because we're kind of going through this struggle together. So those are the people who are going to identify. So if men, like I looked at my analytics, 90% of my listeners are women. I'm not like, why aren't the men in my life supporting me? Why aren't you listening? It's not relevant to you. You not gel with it the same type of way. So I think as an entrepreneur, being willing to say, if my family and friends support me, great. If they don't, great. I'm about to get out here and get this money. Like that's something legit that you have to be able to do, is to get past that hump of like, maybe they'll support me, maybe they won't.
Agreed.
I definitely agree because, when you start something, you think of your friends and family because those are the people you know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is my market, and it's not. You have to, like, get out and find your market, right? Yeah. And you have to be okay if your stuff doesn't gel with people. It's not going to gel with everybody, right? That's why there's so many cosmetics lines out. That's why there's so many pockets. That's why there's so many books out there, right? That's why there's so many toilet paper brands, right? Okay. Everything's not going to like gel. And
because I like what I like.
I like what I like. And that's okay. Yeah. Don't shame me for liking what I like, right? And don't like try to coax me into what you like because I don't like that shit.
And at the same time, as an entrepreneur, you got to be able to also take in that criticism of why people don't rock with you.
Yes.
You know, and that makes you like a chameleon out here where it's like, all right, I can take that criticism. Also, I really don't care who doesn't rock with me, but at the same time, you're constantly evolving with whatever market you're in.
Yeah.
You know?
My business professor would always say that feedback is a gift. And so many of us be like, oh, like you don't want to hear people have to say that's negative. And I had this manager that didn't like me. And so she had all this stuff that she was always complaining. And one of my mentors was like, I'm sure that some of that stuff is not false, but I'm sure there's a little bit of truth in there somewhere. And if you can identify kind of like the truth of where your performance was lacking, then you can take that and you can better your performance. And so like he's saying, it's important to kind of take that feedback in, but know what is applicable to what you got going on and know what's not applicable to what you got going on.
Take what like matters, right?
Exactly.
Like,
if it don't apply, let it fly.
Yeah, I like that. What'd you say? If it don't apply, let it fly. I like that. Yes. So that's true because some people will just say shit, just be saying shit. Yeah. We ain't got time for that mess. Bye. Yes. You know what I mean? I love that.
And research.
That's awesome.
Research is important. So many people just have a good idea and be like, I'm about to start a business. Right. And it's like, you should, like, but research is super important. And that's why I feel like a lot of people aren't successful, is because it's like, I feel like there's either people who wait too long and they're like, I'm just sitting on it. Or the people who launch too quick and they like, I got a good idea. I'm about to start this thing tomorrow. And it's like, you got to have that healthy medium of like doing your research, doing your reading, kind of learning about your market, learning about your products, learning about that, and then putting something out and being ready to just kind of go. Because I think like you were saying, you learn as you go and then you can build, you know, but when you start, it's hard to do anything unless you start. And so it's like, I started with lashes. Yep. They liked the lashes. I was getting the feedback. I was building my brand. I was building my audience. And then I moved on to this. And then they like that, you know, and that's kind of how it is. Sometimes people do too much too soon.
That's true.
And then you're like, I'm about to have a baby clothes. I'm about to have men clothes. I'm about to have women's clothes. I'm about to have old people clothes. I'm about to have all the clothes.
Exactly.
So,
you'd be like,
and then
my
I think you provide like a lackluster product. So something that stuck with me, and when I was asking you about the eyeshadow palette, girl, you were like, no, I need this to be pigmented. I have standards. Like, that's why I'm waiting for
I waited 3 months.
That's
It was 3 months of me dealing with the person I go through that makes it for me, of them sending me stuff, going back and forth, picking the colors. It was a long process, but it was worth it. Because now I have something that I know is literally perfect.
There you go.
So it takes time. Like before I started my business, I researched for 2 months.
2 months?
2 months of literally researching, figuring out a name. I had so many, the names I had were so horrible. But then I was like, no, I want mine. Like my first tattoo was my last name.
Was it?
Like, I love my last name. I love the legacy my dad has given. Like, I just love my parents. So it was like, no, I want it to be my family name. You know what I mean? Because I've had it my whole life.
I love it.
And I feel like your name is really all you really got.
That's true.
At the end of the day. So I'm like, no, I want, and then I was like, well, I want brand ambassadors. I'm like, no, I'm my brand ambassador.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, I don't need to pay anybody to wear my product. It speaks for itself. You know what I mean? So I just feel like,
I love that.
So how long did you take to reresearch?
I will say it's kind of weird. Cause when I tell you, I literally think of ideas all the time. So I kind of had the idea for a few years, and I thought I was just going to do like a YouTube channel, and it was going to be like a lifestyle channel. But as time has kind of progressed and over the years, things have kind of evolved. But I think specifically with like setting up the podcast, it was about 6 months because I was I did everything myself, like literally everything myself. I designed my logo myself. I picked my colors. I did like my mood board. Like I did all that stuff. I created t-shirts. Like I did the branding. I set up my own online shop. I did my analytics. Like I created a link tree. I shoot myself. I record myself. I edit myself. I do every single thing myself. So I had a lot of learning to do about kind of what it took. And people are like, can you help me? I'm like, honestly, I haven't started anything yet. Like literally, like Sartell had reached out to me and was like, can you help me out with my, can you help me out with the podcast? And I'm like, girl, it looks like I've done a lot more than I actually have because I have been doing so much groundwork and so much research. And for myself, I know that I can be, like I said, my worst critic. So I just kept telling people it's coming at the end of March. And I wasn't giving them a date because I didn't know when. But I was like, Tiara, that's all I know is I have to drop something at the end of March. I have to drop something at the end of March. And so that was something that that was what I gave myself. And I also know if I put too many parameters on myself, then I start to feel too stressed and then I feel boxed in. And then I start to avoid my responsibility. So that's why I gave myself to the end of March. But I really started in September. I have a business coach and like we were talking and working through things and planning on things. So yeah, it took about 6 months to kind of bring it to fruition. Yes, takes time. Good things take time.
They do take time. And I just thought about something. You said a business coach, and I'm wondering, what do y'all think about like paying someone to like help you do the things maybe you need support in, maybe that you don't do well, or just paying someone like for their craft, right? Like a business coach, a book writing coach, which I didn't know existed.
Until
Crystal was on our show. Yeah, and I was like, oh, what, child?
Yeah.
So like those things, right? And I think so many times when you are launching a business, it can be easy to like be scant on stuff. But I think it's an investment.
It is.
So yeah.
It is. And I think for me specifically, because I am so scatterbrained, kind of all over the place, it was super helpful to have somebody to be like, okay, yes, you can do these things that you want to do, but let's set a timeline. Let's, plan for this. Let's do this. And then he always like, I really appreciate him because I feel like a lot of times we're partners, and like he helps me take my ideas to the next level. So I have another project that I'm working on that coming out this year, guys.
Fingers crossed.
This is a world premiere. This is exclusive tea.
Exclusive tea on the Chopping It Up podcast.
106 in Park Vibes right
now. It's me and AJ. Oh my God.
The only host that will be acknowledged.
Look, I'm trying to tell you. Look, I don't know who them other folks are. Shoot.
Because Bow Wow Child, anyway.
No, I thought it was Terrence and Roxy.
I do like Terrence. though.
That was they all right. But Free and AJ will always be.
I like it.
100% part.
Free was fine as hell.
Yes, let me tell you. Yes.
There we go.
Y'all so funny. Of course.
Y'all know how fair it is.
Hey, don't hate this shit.
Y'all so funny. I'm not about to play. But yes, so I am working on a project for Black children.
Yes, the Black children.
Yes, I have a brand that's called If I Can See It, I Can Be It. That's like my formal business. It's like my umbrella business. And my idea is to develop a brand that provides products for parents of Black children to help empower their children and prepare them for the future.
That's
So
dope. I like that.
my first product will be a coloring book, and it's coming out this year. And I was thinking of doing a unisex coloring book, but my business coach was like, think about this. What if we did a girl's coloring book and a boy's coloring book? The niche, the like. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So now I have to spend more money because I have to pay an artist to make twice the art. But I'm so excited. The artwork is looking amazing.
That's
so
awesome.
Hopefully it'll kind of come out around, I'm thinking maybe like Thanksgiving.
Perfect.
Just in time for like Christmas.
Yes.
So that people can kind of get those purchases in.
Yes, I know that's right.
But I love, like she said, I love children. I love Black people. I love Blackness. And so I'm all about making the world better for us.
Yes.
There's so many things that are in place to make it worse for us.
Right.
And I just want to be a change agent.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm all about. So yes, business coaches really can help you elevate your vision. They can help you with the things that you're not really good at. I also think that like when you're starting, you don't have a lot of capital. I don't have no money. That's why I'm not in nobody's studio. Yeah. Tiara is in her room, okay? Tiara set up her camera on her iPhone on her tripod, on her ring light. That's what Tiara is. Yes, and as you get better and as you get more money, then you can have, like you said, you kind of start small and you expand the vision as you get more expertise, as you get more capital. And so business coaches can help you with that. Or also like you start here, I started doing everything by myself because I started in September, but I couldn't afford a coach till a little bit later in the process.
Yeah.
And so you kind of work with what you have and then you build and you use more. So my pastor, we used to meet and talk about stuff like this, and he would say, you know, your time is valuable and your time is most valuable in the things that you're expert at.
Yes.
And so I don't know marketing. That's not my jam. So it takes me a really long time to sit and make like a digital marketing post because that's not my jam. Where if I send it to somebody who does marketing, they're done in 5 minutes because that's what they do. That's their expertise. So as you get more money and you have more capital, you get to learn like, okay,
things like that.
I can still hold down the social media aspect, but I'll hire somebody for marketing.
Definitely.
Or I can do this, but I'll kind of like, so as you build your brand and you build your money and you stack your chips, then you be like, I can freelance some things. I can hire some people. But starting off, you don't have no money. So you be everybody. I'm the whole team.
Yeah.
And that's also
brand ambassador.
And that's also just admitting that there's areas you're not going to know everything about the business or the avenue that you're trying to go down, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to obviously leave it open for individuals who can help you, right? To get you that next step.
Yeah,
right?
and it also just gives you some foundation. So like as you build and as your brand and your business gets bigger, you kind of know when people bullshitting you.
Yes.
Like you be like, how much? Oh no.
Gotcha.
I actually used to do my own Facebook post back in the day, so I'm not paying you $2,500 to manage my social media.
Like absolutely,
because you know.
We did. Yes,
You know.
Yep.
Like I have the foundational knowledge to know that yes, you have expertise, but that's not how much I should be paying.
Right.
So that also gives you some context as you are trying to hire people and you're trying to pay people. You know when people are trying to get over on you, or you know, like yes, you're good at what you do, but you're not $300 an hour worth of good.
Yeah.
So we're not about to do that.
I hear that. Yep.
That's
and I
very
think
real.
networking is very important.
Yes, really
I feel
good
like
point.
I meet a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Because that's when I'm lit and
Yep.
I'm the most outgoing.
Yes.
But I've met some amazing people that put me in the room, and
That's
like
good.
even like you or like I was out like 3 weeks ago. I already did a photo shoot with the girl.
Nice.
Her name's Paige. She's a makeup artist. Shout
All
out
right, Paige. Shout out.
And we were talking about cosmetics, and then she literally hit me up and was like, "Hey, I want your jewelry a part of this this photo shoot, and it might be majored in a huge magazine." And
Look
I'm
at
just
that.
like, just for
See,
talking
just
to
being
somebody,
out.
just
Yes,
networking,
that's so good.
I think that's really important. And then I think having great friends and family, like my best friend is in marketing.
Yeah.
So I go through her for everything, and she literally just like, nope, Amber, don't do that.
Gotcha,
Or,
yeah.
yep, you can do that. And so, because you are wearing a lot of hats, I literally do everything.
Yes.
Right.
Like, thank God my dad is retired because
Like,
I
help.
do like everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm making the product, shipping it out. I'm
Yes.
And it becomes so much where you do want, can I pay you to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're not at the point where you can pay somebody to do it. So you're wearing all these different hats. And that's...
And it also breeds creativity. Like,
I love it, though.
It breeds creativity because then you're like, okay, how can I do this smarter? Like, I got to work smarter, not harder. Because it's so much. And I think you made a very good point that, like, your network is your network. That you really don't know who knows who to kind of connect you and get you kind of in the right place. And I think you made the really good point of, like, putting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. Like, it can be really intimidating, especially when you're first starting to like when people are like, oh, you know, Tiara, what are you? I'm like, I'm a career coach. They're like, yeah. Like, I'm a career coach. They're like, oh, you do what? I'm a career coach. Like, it's because you don't feel like, you know, so it's hard to say it. But then I'm like, yep, I'm a career coach. Yep, I'm a career coach. Yep. And then people like, then you become known for that thing and you build your brand. And people like, oh yeah, Tiara's. I still have people asking me, do I do resumes? I'm trying not to do them no more because I hate to do them. But like people still be like, do you do resumes? Don't you do resumes? Like literally somebody just asked me last month because it's like your brand, as you start to build that brand and people start to know you for it, your network starts to spread. And it's like, oh,
now
like,
I'm known as the makeup girl.
Exactly.
I'll be like, oh, that's the makeup girl. I'm like,
that's how it works.
And then they're like, well, I need, like, there's people that be like, I need 10 pair of lashes. What's up? And
do you keep stuff in your car? Do you keep products in your car? You should.
I need to.
Because I want to buy stuff right now.
Because it's makeup, so sometimes when it's hot like this, I don't want to keep it in my car.
In your car.
Yeah, but I should because it happens all the time.
Lip gloss, like, girl, I would buy some stuff right now.
And that's crazy because when I met the girl Paige, I was at Cowboy Jack's and I literally brought this little purse and I didn't have nothing in it. And my best friend was with me. She's like, I wish you had like a business card or something. I wasn't even thinking because it was still premature.
Right.
And so my best friend pulled out all my products.
Come on.
Best friend.
She pulled out every lip gloss, the eyelashes, the business card. She said, you want 5, 10? I got all of them. She is on point right now. So having people in your corner is like, I couldn't do it without like my family and friends. They literally like,
I love that.
Man, and to piggyback on that network thing is like, you never want to burn bridges either.
No.
Because you never know. Like you meet someone, perfect example, like, you know, like our boy Chris Pham, right? Like he does.
Love him.
Amazing.
He's the guy.
Love him.
And
right?
you introduced me.
Yes.
And so right now we're just.
And you might have a booth at Exchange.
Yes.
And so right now it's like, all right, we're doing a podcast, right? But who knows where this thing is going to get later?
Yes.
And we were talking about, all right, we want to do like a season 2 like launch party, right? Or viewing.
Like viewing party.
You know what I mean? To watch that first episode of of the season 2. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, well now we can go back to Chris and we can do it at Exchange. Even though you're going to be gone, but I mean you can fly back.
Of course.
But you know what I mean? It's like you just never know who you're going to meet.
Right.
And they may not fit what you're doing right now.
Exactly.
But
it doesn't mean
come
they
down
may
the
not
line.
fit.
Boom.
Or you don't know who they know. Like,
exactly. Or vice versa.
Yeah. Like you might think somebody's not their target market, so you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that white lady at the grocery store. She not gonna buy.
Paige was white,
but you don't know. You do not know. Literally, I was at Half Price Books, and the lady was like, I was like, oh yeah, I talk to everybody. I'm a person.
I talk to everybody.
And I was like, yeah, I'm starting a podcast, and she was like, oh, what's the name of it? And I'm like, you know, I don't think you really gonna listen to it. But she's like, people ask me for podcast recommendations all the time because I work at a bookstore. Yeah. And so it's like just little things like that where you don't know how people can like help you out. Or you might be thinking like, but they might talk to somebody who is one person. You might be one person removed from greatness and you don't even know it.
No, check this out though. That even happened with us. So I was just through conversation, I was talking to my dad. And I was like,
he was on.
He was on last week. Shout out to my dad.
Yes.
And so I literally just brought up like, oh, you know, my ex, I'm doing a podcast with my ex's best friend. And I was like, hey, you know what? You know, I want to do this. I don't know where to go, blah, 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 blah. And then so he's like, man, I know someone who actually does live radio.
Yes.
And I know someone who does the podcast situation.
Yeah.
And then so he literally just like, you know,
handed that to us.
And then the people you least expect. You like, what, Dad? Like, why do you know about radio?
And
I
feel like it's always your dad.
And then the ball, exactly.
Everything.
My daddy gotta be plugging it.
And then the ball just starts rolling though.
I know that's right. What'd you say, Faye?
I said just the ball just starts rolling. It's crazy.
It's been rolling.
Like,
it is crazy.
Like, when you're focused on something, and you really got that passion about it, it's crazy how quick things can actually like start taking off when you put that focus into it. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Because we started talking about this when?
Like February. Yeah.
Yep.
And
episode 5 now.
Right. It's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's weird.
Yeah.
And when it's for you, it's for you.
Yep.
And I think God ordained, I believe in God.
So do
me too.
Praise
God ordained things that way. That's how I knew. That's how I knew it was for me because I was like, everything's going so perfect.
Yeah.
Like
It
literally
feels
not
good.
a hiccup.
Not a hiccup.
And I was like, what in the world?
Yes.
Shout out to the Lord.
Shout out to the Lord. Praise him.
And something else, when I tell you this quote, like, I love when my friends drop gems and you'll be like, I ain't gonna never forget this, bitch.
Yeah.
This is prime.
It's good.
And it be so simple. I swear people say the most simple things that are like so mind-blowing. And she said, God moves slowly until he moves suddenly.
Yeah.
Mic
Ooh.
drop. Just think about that. God moves slowly
I wish
until
I
he
could
moves
drop this
suddenly.
mic, girl.
And that's how it is. Like, you'd be like, where are you? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, it'd be like, boom.
Yes.
And then you'd be like, oh my God. Like,
Get whiplash from all that.
yes, you'd be like, okay,
Yes.
maybe you was paying attention.
Right? Like, okay, child.
Maybe you was working back there.
Right.
Maybe I was on hold.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And then boom, catapulted.
Totally,
It's crazy.
totally.
I love it.
That's real.
You have bonus questions.
I do.
Right?
I do.
Get jiggy with it. Oh, no.
Shout out to Will. I will say though, I like Will Smith better as an actor than I do a musician.
Nah, I mean, don't get me wrong. No,
Am I about to start fighting?
look, I love Will Smith as an actor,
I do
but his
too.
music is dope too. Like you got to think,
has
he
some
was the
iconic-
original rapper to ever get an Oscar. He was the first, or not Oscar, Grammy. He was the first one ever, and
I
he
mean,
didn't
like, I
even
like
curse
his music.
though.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I just like him.
You
in
prefer?
I prefer him as an actor. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna start a
It's
fight.
He did drop some duds lately, but yes.
Yeah, so I'm not
Like
like
Pursuit of
Wait, he
Happiness.
came out with some music.
Pursuit of Happiness was fire.
Yeah, that was.
Pursuit of Happiness was good. I didn't see I Am Legend. Somebody said it's like now.
I Am Legend is pretty decent. That was pretty decent.
Amber looking crazy.
It was decent. I mean, compared to like
Is it on Netflix?
iRobot.
Look,
Look, iRobot. That was trash.
I feel like
I
that's
didn't
the
see
same
that.
movie.
Wild
That's
Wild
why
West,
in
be
my mind-
real. Wild Wild West is
that
not
looked
good.
like whack. That looked whack. Okay, so
was trash.
I started this conversation, and I'll be honest, I don't even know the last movie. Ferris David, all these movies. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see that. We can move on.
There was Bad Boys.
Oh. Yes,
Maybe that's
yes,
something
yes.
with the trilogy.
seen that,
Maybe that's
yeah.
what I'm thinking about.
That was good.
Girl, I know
I
that
liked
one.
that one.
Bad Boys for Life was hilarious.
Yes.
So,
It
no,
was
that's
all of them.
Yeah. That's funny as fuck. I don't know nothing Will Smith did. Okay,
She said next.
look, we can move on.
Keep going. Let's go.
What's your bonus question?
All right, so the first bonus question that I had was like, what entrepreneur or entrepreneurs do y'all look up to right now?
I would definitely say that my entrepreneurial shiro is my godmother, Chevelle Brown. I almost
Shout
call her
out.
Chevelle
Shout out
Brown,
Chevelle.
but her name's Chevelle Brown because she married. Hello,
Yes,
shout out to
yes,
you, girl.
ringer.
But she literally, like, she's the person who taught me how to do brows and lashes. Like, she was the person who taught me about hustle, who taught me about entrepreneurship. She's a Black woman who was a single mother who I saw, like, getting it. Like, her and her sister, they had multiple shops, they had multiple locations, and she was like, I want to give you a trade. Like, I want to teach you how to use your hands so you can always have money. And for me, that was like, wow, like, I never thought about that. So for her,
That's huge.
and she's like, now she's not even doing the lashes and things anymore. She's a chess coach, and she has a brand
Nice.
called ITeachChess.com.
Like
Check her
chess?
out.
Plug.
Okay.
Check her out,
That's
ITeachChess.com.
dope.
She just
It is.
got a partnership with the Detroit Police Athletic League.
Shut
Nice,
the front
They
nice,
have
door.
never
nice.
had chess as a athletic program,
Right.
but now
But
for
now they
kids,
do.
they do. They have a partnership
Look
with
at
her.
us, see.
And so she is amazing, and she
Yes.
motivates me so much. Another person is Imani. Imani, she got married too. I think her last name is Thomas now. Shout out to Imani. She owns iSocial PR.
Okay.
She started her business in college, and she's probably been in business over 10 years now. She does social media marketing, and I have done some consulting work for her. But literally, when I say got it out the mud, like, I saw her start her business while she was still in her dorm room. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do
Okay,
it. I'm
shout
gonna do
out
it. I'm
Imani,
gonna
I
do
see
it.
you.
And so yes, I have some amazing Black women in my life
I
who
love
start
that.
businesses, who are like kick ass and take names. And so shout out to those two women because they
Yes.
motivate me in my business, and they
Oh,
are the
that's
reason
right.
that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Yes. All the praise. All the flowers.
Okay,
You say
while you
flowers.
alive,
Miss
while you
Amber.
Flowers
alive.
while they alive now, right? We ain't waiting to the funerals no more. Yes.
I deserve
All right, Miss
flowers
Amber, what's
daily.
yours?
Let me tell you,
Okay.
girl, hourly. Let me
Okay.
tell you.
You said your whole family got businesses. so-
Yes.
My sister, Brittany Turner Crow, because she's married now.
Shout
All right,
out.
see that?
Black married women.
Yes, we get in the ring.
Yes,
It's
look, I'm trying to tell you.
She has her own business. It's called Baskets by Brittany.
Okay.
And she makes custom baskets, whatever you want. But she's known for her purse baskets.
Oh,
Purse
so
baskets.
yes. So Mother's Day, I think it was like, she made so much money. And I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
Like, and now me and her do partnerships together, which is really awesome. And she was the one that always like, Amber, you need a side hustle. You need to do something. Like, what is it? And she would push me like, and I'm like, why are you always nagging me? I am a teacher. I am fine, you know? But she's like, but you need like that money, like, you know, on the side where you can, you know, dip and do what you want to do. Stop asking me for $40. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So she has that. And then she's well known for around Christmas time. She does her pajama baskets so kids can open them on the day before Christmas.
So cute.
That's dope.
And
That's
so she
really
does
dope.
that, and she makes a basket, and she does that. So I think that she really, like I said, got out the mud, single mother. And now she's married, but my niece is going to be 13 in June.
Wow.
Okay.
And she had her when I was 17.
Yeah.
So that's your older sister?
Yes. I only have one sister, one brother.
Okay.
And so I just love, like, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke. She just loves God, and I think that that's where I want to be, because I still
It's
get
okay,
a little
girl.
job.
It's okay. It's
Working on all of us, sis.
Finish what you get.
But
working on all of us.
so if you need custom baskets, she does party planning,
awesome.
and she's known for her party cups. Like to
Party cups.
Yeah, so like when you go to a birthday party and you usually do like the little bag and it'd be all rinky dink.
Yes.
She makes personalized cups.
You need to put your makeup in
So
there.
I love that.
we
Yes.
do that. We did Easter
Oh, there you
eggs
go.
with my
Sure.
makeup in them this year, and it was
There you
so.
go.
And she always gives me these great ideas. So
amazing.
shout out to her.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then somebody else would be my mom.
Mm-hmm. Mama Turner.
She's been an educator for 35 years. She's the reason. When I say I feel bad that there's certain people out here that don't they're not as blessed as I am. I have the most amazing parents.
Right.
I love that.
Period.
Yes.
And I think that they gave me such a great life where I felt like now I'm able to do these things and they support me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's really important, and everybody isn't blessed
Yeah.
to
That's
have
true.
that. Like my sister's best friend, we just were in Chicago for a funeral, and she got killed by her husband.
Wow.
It's terrible.
And he wasn't even her husband. He like pretended to be. It was so crazy. But she left behind 5 kids.
Wow.
Damn.
And I think the saddest thing was to watch those kids from 10 to 18,
Ugh.
34 years old.
Wow.
And
Wow.
to watch
Got
that is like, it was the hardest thing I think I've ever seen. So I think it just is really important to just be advocating for the Black community, because mental health is real.
It's real.
And
yeah.
I think that, like you said, like therapy and all that stuff, I'm in therapy.
I am
And
too.
you have to work on your mental health, though.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
just like if you
important.
work on your physical strength, your
Yes.
physical body, you have to work on your mental health.
Yeah, that's what I said on my
Yeah.
podcast. I said you pay rent to keep a roof over your head.
Yes.
You might have a car note. You eat food every day. And the same way you take care of your body and you shelter your body and you cover your body, you should take care of your mind.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap. And that's what I try to tell people. That's why I do not lie. I don't be out here like, yes, therapy is forever. Like, I believe that everybody should have therapy, but I understand that everybody
Like
does
the
not have
cost.
access.
The realistic goal.
Yeah.
That's why I only see mine once a month.
Okay.
Shout out to the whack ass insurance we got in America. Shit. I can't wait to talk to my therapist again.
And that's so real. And that's what I tell some people, like, to start off, go, like, if you can't afford to go often, go once a month.
It's
Just talk
worth
to
it.
somebody once
It's
a month.
worth it.
If you have to, get you a little notebook where you keep
Yeah.
your notes
Yes.
of what you want to talk about
Yes,
so that
so
you
you
can
don't
kind of
lose track.
maximize on your
Yep.
hour. But like getting your mind right is so important. Mental health
It
is
is.
so important. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so everything kind of starts with your mind. So if you're
Yes.
thinking you can't do it, you can't
You
do
can't.
it.
And just don't
Thank
keep it all
you.
bottled up, too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, people just try to keep
Right.
their emotions inside and don't, like, let it out or
For sure.
tell someone about
Yeah.
it.
Right. Or
So
they
it's like, you gotta...
tell their people, which
Their
your
people,
people are
exactly.
great, but they
It's
have
not the
this
same.
like subjective lens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what I would want you to do,
Right.
Yeah.
or what I would do in your shoes, right? A therapist is really important because they're an objective person.
Correct.
They don't know you,
Yeah.
so they can
Correct.
tell you. You've been talking to people like that your whole life.
Right.
And
You've been doing that.
And it's y'all actually doing some work, honey. Because that's
Look.
something else. See, people think it's therapy is just talking to somebody. That is not what's only
Yeah.
going on.
No.
There's treatment
That shit
plans
is
that's in the
heavy.
background. Like there are
Yes.
things there's intention around the conversations that you're having.
That shit is
So it's
heavy.
cool to have people to vent to and talk to, but it's not the same thing as
You
having
don't
a
get the same
therapist.
thing.
It is
right.
not the
It's
same
not.
thing.
You know,
It's not.
child, people are showing up. I be like,
I'm gonna squeeze this last question in.
yes, and then we'll
Okay.
do our exhaustive segment.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So, like, I wish y'all the most success out here, obviously. So, in your opinion, would you want to marry someone who is above your level,
Oh my gosh,
right?
this is amazing.
Or would you settle for someone who's either at or below, just cause?
Ooh, child, that's a whole other episode.
That is. Why would you even drop this? Like
the last one, girl. That's what they be doing in therapy. Child, drop the bomb.
Hey, but be real though. We can always have part 2.
I do that to my therapist all the time. I'm like, I know I got 30 seconds left, but I called my ex last night. She was like, why would you do this?
We need an app for that.
Look, let me tell you.
Just take my phone tonight.
Just take it.
Just take the whole phone.
I leave that shit in the car.
Because,
I don't even
baby,
want to have access to it.
I woke up this morning like,
it happens. Oh my God, look.
You don't care about me. You just don't understand.
Let me tell you.
I had to call that man and apologize.
And that'd be the embarrassing
It was
stuff.
the tequila.
Like,
it wasn't even me.
Right, that wasn't me.
Yeah,
but I feel like I should apologize.
I don't even want you. I don't even think about you.
Right. And so, yeah, somebody got my phone, but it wasn't me. Okay, what would y'all say?
Okay, so I read this article that said that as a woman, if you want a partner, like if you want to be successful in your career, you either have to marry a man who is super equitable, like super, like you deserve half of everything. Like we in
doing
here.
this.
Okay.
Or you have to marry a man who's not as ambitious as you, because a lot of times when you're married to a super ambitious man, the man's career always takes precedence. So, like statistically, I think they said like they had all these people who went through the Harvard MBA program, and of the women who were in the program, they were making way less than the men who were in the program as well, because the women were typically married to men who were also successful businessmen.
Okay.
And so they weren't going up for promotions. They weren't working the long hours. They weren't doing all that because their career wasn't the primary career. Their career was the secondary career. So honestly, I said all that to say, at this point, I really don't know, because I don't know if I want to be the kind of primary, like we following my dreams, we going after this, like this color I'm about to take off, and we about to have this brand. Or if I want somebody who also kind of has like, I think I would like someone, I don't know, honestly, I think about this all the time. I don't think I'm a creative, and I think I would be frustrated with being with somebody who's like me.
Yeah,
like to with me in a relationship who's like, I want to do my own thing. I want to be, I have these ideas, I have this. Like, I think I actually would like someone who's a little bit more stable and a little bit more like less creative and like more technical. So for me, I think I would want somebody who is ambitious, but like really just supportive and kind of happy with whatever he's doing in his life. But I think I have enough goals and dreams probably for the both of us.
I heard that's this. Look, I know that's right.
I think I like
you,
more of the like just stable. Like you said, I'm super creative and I would be coming up with these ideas. And honestly, I just want a good man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody that has the same ambition, that believes in God, somebody that has a great family.
Yeah.
I think that I don't want to be with somebody that isn't ambitious.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very ambitious person, and I think that it would be best for me to be with somebody that is equally
Most
ambitious.
entrepreneurs are.
But far as when it comes to financials, I think that you have to be where I am or above.
Yeah.
Agreed.
If you're anything under that, it's just not going to work for me, because I just feel like
Short tail said friend.
Okay,
like I said,
so Amber said at or above.
I would say, I think it's more, I think at this point, I've dated people with money, but you don't be necessarily a good dude.
Yeah.
So like for you, I think it really is like about
my
that
dad is a
quality
good
and that
man.
character.
And I tell him I'd be like, you're my husband until my husband.
Look, I know that's right. Shout out to Chuck. I know that's right.
That is some
Chuck playing. Chuck playing.
Chuck is
some
playing. Chuck
big
do be playing.
shoes to fill, because my dad comes through.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so if you can't do it, I
Then
know
we just
somebody
not
that
even doing this.
can.
Right. And what the hell I'm gonna have you around for?
Yeah.
You causing me stress, homie.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say at or above. I ain't gonna hold you
Yeah,
up. I want somebody with
look.
some money. I want to live
No, that's right.
comfortably.
Girl.
Like,
Get me on a private jet.
I
I
like
don't know about
stuff.
that. I don't need that, but
But I want you to know, I could get
Stay
this
single.
myself.
period.
I don't want you to ever feel like
Period.
I need you, because I don't need you. I want you.
That's
Exactly.
that's it.
I can get it myself. So the jet that we on, I can get that too.
Right.
And
So
So don't get it twisted.
yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Once again.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing. We're gonna have y'all
was.
back on. Like, this was amazing.
But real quick, what you exhausted about?
Just everything. I'm sick of fucking people. I don't know. You know, honestly, I'm just too exhausted to think about what I'm exhausted about. I truly think I'm exhausted with just people's negativity. I'm a pretty joyous person. And there are just some people that are complaining, right? Where they just don't want to be happy. So you mad about wearing masks. You mad about not wearing masks. You mad at the sun now because it's too hot. You mad the sun's gone. It's not hot enough. Like, people just complain. So I think I'm just exhausted with like negative energy.
Okay.
Yeah. How about we'll go
I think
Tiara.
I'm It's so funny. I really just be in my apartment by myself thinking. I just be thinking, be sitting there like, because I'm exhausted by a lot as well.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure I'm about to blow this popsicle stand and your girl's leaving Minneapolis. So I'm exhausted by planning to leave Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure I'm taking my talents back to the best city in the world,
Nashville?
Detroit, Michigan.
Hilarious.
I'm going back to my city.
No, oh, I thought you were going to say Chicago.
I would have fell out. That shit would have been gold.
Part 2.
Done. Part 2. Podcast is over.
I go back to Detroit.
I would have fell out. Oh, that shit would have been hilarious. Hilarious.
Wait, where's your family from, real quick?
That's so funny.
Detroit.
No, I know Detroit.
I mean, like,
where about? Yeah, is it all over? Because I got family off
Alabama.
of 7 Mile and Piccadilly.
Oh, yeah, like all over.
That's where Eminem grew up.
Well, 8 Mile.
7.
Yeah,
Oh.
kinda around there.
All right, so yes,
Damn.
I'm exhausted by planning to leave.
I heard that, girl.
Exhausted.
I'm actually gonna be boring this week. I'm not exhausted. It's been a beautiful week.
Shut up, Ferris.
Oh,
Shut up. I'm probably gonna be dragged, but it's all good. Like, I don't know. It's just been a good week. There hasn't been a lot of bullshit that's pissed me off. You know, it's good.
You know what? We'll take that.
I'm
Look at me mad at people negative. And
Look,
shut up, Ferris.
This is the first time I'm not actually like exhausted though. It's good.
She
It
did
feels
her
good.
just say, people keep complaining. I'm tired of them complaining. And he said, I don't have no complaints. She said, how dare you not complain?
Look, it's warm out. You know how
I'm
Minnesota be
exhausted, just
playing.
Child.
So
They do be
it's
playing.
warm out. It's nice.
good today.
I don't even know what to
Sun
wear. I
shining.
said,
I can't even
what's the
complain.
temperature theory? She said, it's supposed to be 80 degrees. I said, are you sure? Is it really supposed to be 80 degrees in Minnesota? I can't even remember the last time it was 80 degrees while I was here.
Let
I'm
me
like,
tell you. Girl,
I don't even know what to wear at 80 degrees. I was like, do I put pants on? Is it too
Look,
hot?
I'm sweating. I don't even know how to get
didn't
dressed
know.
anymore.
I didn't know how.
Lord. Amber, what you exhausted about,
Miss
sis?
Amber, what you got?
I'm actually exhausted about one particular thing.
Let's do it.
Y'all know I love to go to Cowboy Jack's.
Yes,
Shout out
girl.
Cowboy Jack's.
Shout
I
out.
am a
They ain't sponsoring us.
I was about to say,
They
you're
should
not
be.
right.
They should
Also,
be.
we will be
I
talking
am-
to y'all about sponsors.
I am a VIP member. Everybody in Bloomington Cowboy Jacks know who I am.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
I love
Amber
it.
was
Is
on
that-
our
is that-
podcast.
is that good or bad?
I
Sponsored.
love it
Look.
there. That's my spot. But
You need to go to Apple
I am
Valley.
sick
Yes.
of people coming up to me and saying, "You are pretty for a black girl."
I
I am so sick. Girl.
Another whole episode. You know what I start telling? Because it usually be like white people that be saying,
Yes.
you know what I started saying? No, I'm just pretty.
Yeah. The last,
Like, I'm just pretty.
This guy came up to me, 80-some years old, and he
Of
said,
course.
You people are so beautiful to me. I want to buy you a drink."
I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. I'm shocked by like what
real
people
question
say
is, though,
to people in real
Did you
life.
take the drink though?
That's
Oh no, I took the drink.
But no, look, hashtag reparations. Hell yeah. That's what I said.
She said, why yes, my people are
Let me
beautiful.
tell you,
Let me get a
and thank you
double.
for this drink. Hashtag reparations.
Make
We
it
get it
2
wherever
drinks.
we can.
But why
Shit.
can't I just be pretty?
Why can't you just be pretty?
Why
No, I
can't-
totally agree.
I'll be like, you average for a white man.
I hate that.
Period.
That look, that's gonna be the next response.
You're beautiful for a black
Takes
girl. You're average
tequila.
for a white man.
So, all right. So,
Y'all.
real quick, this is a great episode.
I can't wait to have y'all back.
Yes.
Did you want to shout out once again?
Yes, y'all have shout outs. Do your social media for sure too.
Yes, follow me on Instagram at GetHealthyT. I'm also on TikTok. I really don't be on there like that, so
Okay.
that's what that is.
You gonna have to start, girl.
Also, I have merch. If you check me out at Linktree/GetHealthyT, it's Linktree. It's LINKTR.EE / GetHealthyT. All of my links are there. I have a playlist for y'all.
Perfect.
You
There we
can
go.
follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, buy some merch. I have mugs because I be spilling the tea, so you can sip some tea with me. So yes. Check out the podcast, Get Healthy Tea
love
Podcast.
Awesome. Miss Amber?
You can find me on Instagram. It's TurnerGirlCosmetics _. And then everything else is TurnerGirlCosmetics.com.
Love
And
that.
that's how you can find any of my stuff. My jewelry is not on there yet.
Okay.
I know, because I was looking for them earrings. Amber, she was
Let me
like, go
tell
get some
you.
earrings off of Amber website. And I was on there like,
I
where's
sold
the
out.
earrings?
I sold out. So
I'm tired of you.
Look, look, and you talk about makeup being in her car earlier. I'm trying to get the eyeshadow palette. So
Oh,
I'll
look,
bring it tonight.
girl. Thank you, because
Oh,
I
I
got
want
your
one
money,
You
child.
need to make some beard balm. That's what I need.
That's beard
beard
oil
balm.
is
Or
coming.
beard oil.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
What a
See,
man.
now you got me
I
in
love
there.
my
you know?
black man with these
See,
beards,
let me
honey.
tell you, yes. Let's nourish them.
Yes.
Yes. And as
that.
always, y'all can find us on Instagram, Chopping It Up Official. CHOPPN It Up Official. Yeah.
That's it.
You know us. Yeah.
Once
Thank
again,
y'all for being here.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys being on.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you
was
for
a
listening.
bomb-ass show.
Like,
Yes.
comment, subscribe,
Please.
and thanks for joining in on episode 5.
Yes. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.